Theodorus Rex. Thanks for visiting my channel. We're back with another track by track. This time we're going with Blue Murder versus Whitesnake, Slip of the Tongue. Now, the album that preceded this Whitesnake, Slip of the Tongue was called Whitesnake. Sold 10 million copies. And after recording in the studio, David Coverdale, the singer, promptly fired the entire band, including John Sykes, who was the guitar player and a big part of the writing process. And the guitar player and solos on that album were just stunning, just amazing. So he started to hire the next band that he would go on tour with, and one of the other guitarists was Adrian Vandenberg, who had to sit and listen to the screaming match between Sykes and Coverdale behind a closed door. So Sykes was none too pleased, as you can imagine. He went out and started Blue Murder, and a terrific band with Carmine Appice on drums, Tony Franklin on bass, a trio. But they were very Whitesnake-like-ish, you might say. A terrific album. A lot of thought went into this album. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, you can tell. The arrangements are smart. The album's well recorded, well thought out. The songs are strong. And he was really on par to compete with the next Whitesnake album. So, Coverdale, for that tour, went out and hired Rudy Sarzo on bass, Tommy Aldridge on drums, Vivian Campbell from Dio on guitar, and they toured. And then after that tour, when it came time to record Slip of the Tongue, Vivian Campbell was let go, and they picked up none other than Steve Vai, fresh off David Lee Roth's 2 tours. So now you've got really a super group here. So let's get started with this track by track. Track 1, Riot versus Slip of the Tongue. Now, Riot's a great song. It's a great way to start the album, you know. It's got some clever hooks. Slip of the Tongue, however, is a little more intricate and really shows the influence of Steve Vai coming on board here. And there's even you get a little pinch, dare I say, of Frank Zappa in that song in certain parts. But the solo is extraordinary and stunning, and it's just a song that really introduces Steve Vai to the Whitesnake audience, you know. So this one I'm going to put in the category of Whitesnake, Slip of the Tongue, track 1. Track 2, Sex Child versus Cheap and Nasty. Now, Sex Child is a very sexy song. It's slippery, and it's kind of funky for that type of music. And the lyrics are very promiscuous and provocative. And, you know, the same might be said for Cheap and Nasty, but over there, the lyrics are more kind of cheap and nasty. Kind of slutty, you might say. And, you know, not that Sex Child couldn't be accused of that, but as far as songs and material go, I think Sex Child's a much stronger song. So, score 1 for Blue Murder. Track 3, Valley of the Kings, the single from the Blue Murder album, which had spawned a terrific video, and the single from Whitesnake's album, Fool for Your Lovin'. Again, this features a great Steve Vai solo, and the riff is very strong. It's almost got a little blues influence in there, and Coverdale's voice just shines through in an immaculate little way, and it's a very strong song, you know. But for me, I think Valley of the Kings is epic. I think it's a long song. It goes through a lot of transitional things, and it's got a stunning guitar solo and a climactic build-up into the last chorus. So for me, even though I really love both of these songs, I think Valley of the Kings wins this one for me. Track 4, Jelly Roll, another single from Blue Murder, versus Now You're Gone, which I do believe was a single for Whitesnake as well. Jelly Roll was an acoustic number. Starts off acoustically anyway with this fast little riff, and then it breaks down almost into like a power ballad before it finishes on a little bit of a rock note. And Now You're Gone is just what you would expect, kind of a power ballad, target mass appeal. Vai here just does what he's hired to do, like a hired gun, and not much to say on that, but I will just give this one to Blue Murder. Track 5, Blue Murder, the actual song title, versus Whitesnake's Kitten Got Claws. Now, Kitten's Got Claws is kind of something you might find on a David Lee Roth album, to be honest, and it almost sounds like Vai kind of brought some of that vibe over with him. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. Blue Murder though is just more interesting. I'm not going to spend too much time on these two because they're relatively lower on the totem pole. So, but this one goes to Blue Murder. Track 6, Out of Love. This is Blue Murder's power ballad versus Wings on the Storm, which, you know, bands were doing power ballads back in the late 80s because that's really what got you featured on MTV, and it's what the chicks liked, you know, the girls. Brings the girls in and then the boys follow, right? Out of Love is as far as power ballads go though, it's a terrific song with a very soulful guitar solo, much like the one in Is This Love on the prior album. In fact, it's almost a blueprint from that song, really, if you look at the arrangement and the guitar solo, but it is its own song. And that being the case, this one easily goes to Blue Murder. Track 7, Billy versus Deeper the Love. Now, I like Deeper the Love. I like Steve Vai's guitar solo. I like the hooks. I like the chorus. I'm giving this one to Billy though because the only reason is because Billy is such a fast rockin' song that I just can't deny. You know, I just can't. If I have my choice to listen to one of the two, even though I really like both of them, I'm going to go with Billy first. So this one goes to Blue Murder as well. We've got a little slaughter going on here. A slaughter. What are we at? 6-1. Whitesnake, I think you're going down in a big way. This is what they would call a TKO. Ptolemy versus Judgment Day. Judgment Day is probably my favorite song on Slip of the Tongue. Terrific. It sounds very Zeppelin-ish. Opens up with some drums, and then the guitar follows. Kind of not too unlike The Ocean or something, you know, but a little slower, a little sludgier. And then it falls into like a Kashmir type thing. That riff, you know, it's in Coverdale, and Vai's kind of sprinkling his guitar over the top of this nice little bass riff while Coverdale's just chants some lyrics. Terrific song, easily goes to Whitesnake. Track 9, Black-Hearted Woman versus Slowpoke Music. I don't know what Slowpoke Music is all about. For me, you could dust that one right off the album, and no harm, no foul. Nobody needs to hear it. It's just not interesting. On the contrary, Black-Hearted Woman is a terrific song. It opens with this freaking fabulous guitar riff, and then plummets right into the song, and you're head over heels by the time you get to the chorus, and then the chorus is great, and you know, it's all about a man leaving women in his dust. You know, he's gonna leave in the morning, take his belongings, and he's gone because this is a black-hearted woman he's not gonna spend any time on. Anyway, this is a terrific song. So obviously goes to Blue Murder. Track 10. There is no track 10 on Blue Murder, but track 10 on Slip of the Tongue. Strike what I said earlier. Track 10 is my favorite. It's called Sailing Ships. Starts off with an acoustic guitar. Steve Vai again, he's doubling the guitar on what sounds like a sitar. And this song on this album is epic. If it went head to head with Valley of the Kings, it would have probably won that one. I mean, this is the highlight of the album, and it's really, it's quite an accomplishment in my opinion. It's just a super epic song, and lyrically, it's introspective, and musically it's dramatic. So if you listen to one song on Slip of the Tongue, make sure that's the one. Anyway, looks like we have a clear winner in this case, Blue Murder. John Sykes, I love you, baby. He should have never fired you from that band. You're a great guitarist, and it's a shame that this album didn't sell as many copies as it should have, and it kind of just took a downward spiral. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or what you think on particular songs. I'd love to hear from you. Write them right down there and subscribe. Take care.